Hi there, welcome to another episode of the FM Tactical Series. Here, I take your tactic, use it with Gloucester City to see how far up they can go up the table. Yes, when I use your tactic, sometimes I make changes, sometimes I don't have to make changes, but essentially, I'm just trying to see whether there's a different way your tactic can be used. So, it's meant to be a fun experience for me, and maybe you can take something from that and try something different in your games. Now, sometimes some tactics I get submitted to me, they're just way too complicated, and I probably won't use them. If they have incredible number of TIs and PIs, then I'm just going to sit back because I don't think my players can do something like that because it's just a bit too much, too many instructions for my players. I tend to not want to give players too many PIs because I don't really have a super team, and it's an average team. So I've seen this tactic just came to me, but there's way too many TIs and PIs in this. Just look at the fullbacks, the wingbacks, just too many. Mark tighter, pass it shorter, more risky passes. I'm sorry, but my players can't do mark tighter. They just don't have the acceleration for it. So I'm going to avoid this for the moment. Instead, I'm going to focus on this tactic that I've just received from 1408. Yes, thanks you for sending me this tactic. It's a 4-4-2 diamond. There are not too many PIs here. He's got few risky passes on both the wing backs, but he does expect the wing backs to bomb forward. The bad news for me is that both my wing backs are out. Both my right wing backs are out for the season. Not for the season, for at least a few more weeks. Will Grigg and Karim Maja are both injured. He's out for 12 to 42 weeks, and Pablo Mafio, my super player, is out for 6 to 9 days. So they won't be available for the match against Chelsea, which is tomorrow. So let's just kick it on to the next day and see whether or not some miracle happens that Pablo Mafio gets instantly cured or Karim Mamija gets, a fairy godmother comes and gives him a new. No, we still have those players out. So here we go. So what am I going to do? I've got Hajek, Webster, Gomez, and Moore. Moore is not, he can still play as a defensive right, because he is a fullback. He can play on the fullback on the right. His passing is half decent, so that's okay. Acceleration is 12, off the ball is 10. Wingback on attack, never mind. He can still get into positions. The only thing here, when I'm looking at the tactic, the first thing that struck me when I looked at the tactic was 1, 2, 3, 4. The entire left flank is an attack duty on it. So the question I have to ask is, how is the ball going to move on the left flank? That's a bit of a concern for me because I would be a bit concerned if so many players on one flank have attack duties. But we'll have to watch this tactic to play itself out. He's got F9 on support, drop deep, probably around here, and he's got poacher on attack. Pretty straightforward, but he's got a shadow striker here who's playing tackle harder, close down much more, gets further forwards and moves to the channels. Pretty much like an attacking midfielder on attack. Centre midfielder on attack, he's got roam from position and more risky passes. So this entire left flank is a high risk flank. You got a wing back on attack, bombing on this way. You got a CM on attack who's roaming from position, playing more risky passes. You've got a tackle harder, close down much more, and a poacher in here. I know there's another tactic, but I've already covered the tactic from Nick 1408. You submitted 2 tactics. I'm taking a look at the 442 diamond because I've already covered a similar tactic in another show. So we're going to use something that we haven't used yet. And then we've got an anchorman and defenses playing more direct passes. Now, interesting, why would you want a player to play more direct passes when he's got no through balls on him? Where are those direct passes going to go? So this instruction doesn't make any sense to me, unless you're thinking of the whole team playing direct football. Now let's go and look. No, they're all mixed. So this instruction just doesn't make sense. Direct passes are generally balls played into specific space or a specific area on the pitch or to a specific person. Now, if you've set it up and it's telling him to play with fewer risky passes, then he could end up hoofing the ball. So, and Collado is probably quite an intelligent central midfielder that we have. He's pretty good on the ball. So we're gonna have Olmedo here, and beside him, since this player is roaming from position and playing more risky passes, we'll have to put somebody like Germano there. Germano can play that role. Or Papu Alon and Dye who can actually tackle. Then Germano can go further forward. Then we got Lopez, Gomez, Gomez and Lacazette. So basically, it's a pretty strong team, and this is against Chelsea, right? So let's see if the boys can actually do the deed against Chelsea. I'm going to use this tactic for a while, and the roles I'm concerned about are the anchorman and the wingbacks on attack. So uh, I do like having a wingback, but this entire left flank is very attacking. So we'll have to see how it goes. Germano with the ball, plays it out to Z Gomez. We'll have to watch it on extended at least. All comprehensive. Let's whip it out. So many tactics are coming in, so I'm almost feeling as if I need to play one game, 45 minutes, and make a change, then go to another tactic. Lopez with the more free kick that just went over. So far, I'm more concerned about. I'm only concerned about whether the team can work the ball. Look at Collado; he's already picked up a yellow card. That was fast. F9 has got a lot of work to do, so he's gonna run around. He's basically like he's like a striker who's also a creator. So he's got to look out for passes to make. We may change him. This is the poacher. This is the F9. So I'm going to change Lacazette and Gomez around. Maybe Lacazette is a bit more intelligent, so he could play that role as an F9. Musonda. Johnston. The F9 he drops deep. He works he's got to have a high work rate, good determination. He's got to have vision. So he's got to have lots of things. Lopez plays it to Musonda. Diogo, too easy. Gets blocked. That's good defending from the boys. Okay, this is the flank I'm most worried about. But so far, they're defending quite well. So gotta give them credit at the moment. So we're gonna go the extended. We've seen enough. 4-2-3-1. So far, Diogo with again it gets to Johnston. All right, Gloucester City has spent a lot of time in their own half, but we haven't really threatened Chelsea in this match. We haven't gone into their half. 6%. Even Chelsea. Basically, this whole game has been played now. Literally, the whole game has been played in our half. Lacazette loses out to Gatti. That's the thing about the F9. Goosens, Collado wins the ball, Ndiaye now. This is bad news for me. Collado has now got a yellow card as an anchorman. Ndiaye, good work from Ndiaye. Z Gomez now playing as a poacher. That is much better. Lacazette, fat Germano. Germano takes a shot. Finally. Because Lacazette can do that. Z Gomez can't. Lacazette can see those kind of passes. Nice work. Lacazette to Ndiaye. Ndiaye, too slow. Lopez gets away. Gets it to Diogo. Out to Musonda. Musonda crosses it to Goosens. Goosens hits it and Johnston makes a great save. And scrambles it behind. Alright. Panquetas. Musonda. There's a lot of work is going on in our back line. They clear the danger again. Lacazette. Out wide to Zigo. And so far, so good. Well, I do like the 4-4-2 diamond. I think the 4-4-2 diamond is nice. And that is the risk factor that you have in your tactic. You got this left flank that's got a lot of attack duties. So yeah, I am concerned about that flank, but it seems to be working. But there's a lot of risk on that flank. And they've come on to score. If I wanted to change anything or I want to tweak it, I might by asking at least the right flank to be a bit more defensive, because you see both flanks are just defending. Diego with both flanks is just having to defend at the moment. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm just changing the support for the moment, right? Because we've taken a lead. I know they're coming, and I noticed that both flanks have a lot of defending to do. So what I'm doing is I'm just telling one flank, don't bomb out so fast. You just make sure that you are near the halfway line, so you don't have to overcommit. So we're just holding back something in reserve. We're keeping the other flank going the way it is. Okay, here we go. Hajek does well, wins the ball back. You're gonna have to have really good players at the back, that's for sure. Ndaye plays it to Germano, out to Hajek, good movement. Into for Z Gomez. Z Gomez, the poacher. He does not play complicated football. Germano, beautiful ball out to Hajek. Hajek, can he cross this? He does. But Z Gomez, this is where your attacking duties get compromised. You see the counter. They got all that space on the left flank, and this is where your defenders are very, very important. They're gonna have to have very good mentals, and they're gonna have to play well. And if they don't, this is what's gonna happen. Yep, this is the concern I had. The fact that you can score, there's no denying it. You have the risk factor going, but the risk is also it's easy for you to concede, and we just conceded a goal. Counter fluid is fine. There's no need to. I mean, I wouldn't change the mentality now. That's for sure. I'm not gonna go high risk. Germano is off. Plays it out to Lacazette. Lacazette with the ball. The F9 looks around. Ooh, can't beat anyone. Okay, now, do I change the F9's role? I might, because it's too much work for Lacazette to do. We just change his role. Okay, why am I saying look at the F9? He's got dribble more risky passes, and move into channels. Okay, yeah. What about if I tell him to... I don't need the more risky passes. Through balls are important, but I'm toying with the idea of taking that off. But so far, Gloucester City have been defending against... we spent the most of the time defending against Chelsea. Alright, we're going to move up to control now. Give my boys a shelling. Germano to Olmedo. Olmedo back to Webster. Webster to Ndaye to Germano. Now to Colado. We're taking a bit more risk now, because we're not going to sit back against Chelsea. The first half was literally us defending most of the time. We managed to score one goal, but Chelsea managed to score one goal, two from a counter attack. And Hajek does well, wins the ball back. Z Gomez is off. Can he play a simple pass into the box? Germano makes it 2-1. Alrighty. Gloucester City 2, Chelsea 1. The boys have struck back. So what did I change? Nothing very much. I changed one of the roles on the duties on the other side, to make it a bit more... So I don't have to worry about two flanks. I didn't want to worry about two flanks. Anyway, the guy on the right flank, he can't really cross. What's the point of asking him bomb forward up for? At least Hajek can cross. And now we have to change. Wing back on support. That is because they've gone 4-2-4. They're now coming down both flanks. I'm not gonna sit back and, we got a big risk right now with both flanks being attacked. So I want to hold the wing back a bit. Gatti, oh, this is dangerous. Groot, my name is Groot. I just realized that Chelsea have a player who introduces himself as "my name is Groot." Groot, number 5, the defender. Oh man, if you guys don't get that reference, then I'm sorry. I don't think you guys should go out a bit more. Seriously, if you don't get the reference, you really, really need to leave the house and go watch Guardians of the Galaxy. Alright, the boys are okay. We managed to hold them back. We're not overcommitting, but we're holding on to the lead. What did I change? Just one duty. And what else did I do? I went on a higher mentality. That's all. So you can see the possession numbers are a lot better now. And we have come back to defeat Chelsea away from home 2-1. This damn good result, actually. All right, teams, possession, heat map for Gloucester City. As you can see, not a lot of presence in the half. We didn't really control the match. Chelsea, neither did they. So it's kind of cool. This was The first half wasn't. I noticed the first 15 to 20 minutes we spent most of the time defending. Right, we made one change. We didn't make one change until after we scored the goal, but we conceded the goal almost immediately after we scored the goal, and I became a bit concerned about how easy it was for Chelsea to come into our half. So what did I do? So I want to go and attack them a bit more. So all I did was I told the right back, my wing back, who really can't cross the ball. So there's no point in me asking to go forward. So you just stay as a wing back on support. So you just high up the pitch. You only get involved when we control their half. As it turns out, we hardly control their half, so he might as well just stay back. On the left flank, we got a wing back on attack. Let him go forward. So now I'm taking a lot of risks down the left flank, not so much risk down the right flank. With all the risks going on the left flank, we also decided, all right, let's play on a higher mentality, because it was too easy for Chelsea to come into our half to create chances. So that's what we did, and turned out okay. So did I have to make many changes to the tactic? Nah. But we're gonna have a bigger test with this tactic against Arsenal, coming right up in the Champions League quarterfinal. Next game against Arsenal. Well, my head is telling me to make tweaks. My heart is telling me, oh, give the other tactic a chance because it did well away from home. You did very well against Chelsea. Oh boy. This is when I get confused. All right. So well, in this group of players, I got Almeida and Daye and more. So what we'll do is I'm not going to try out my version of the tactic just yet. Okay, seriously, it's a Champions League game, right? But there's certain things I will change. Take short kicks and distribute quickly. We're going to leave that out. Let the goalkeeper make his own decisions. Play out the defensive ball into the box. What did we do against Chelsea away from home? We played control fluid, right? Because we didn't want them to come at us, so we'll go standard fluid this time. But something tells me that I need to make changes to this tactic. That's the thing right now in my head. My head is saying this is way too attacking. And I don't have my secret weapon. I won't say it's a secret anymore. That's a daft thing to say. Pablo Maffio is not available. But we'll try this tactic out for a while and see how it goes. Why don't I just go... let's not make too many changes. We got normal, work ball into box. All the shots seem fine. We're going to watch it on key and start the match. Here we go. Z Gomez back to Collado. Whoa, something I realized. Lacazette is a much better F9 than Z Gomez because Z Gomez doesn't have the talent to play as an F9. He's more like a guy that can get into the box, beat the lines, and go in for goals. But if he's going to be like a F9, then he's going to have a lot of passing decisions, creativity. Basically, he's going to have to be able to see play, develop before he can, do something with that. So I don't think I want to use Z Gomez in that role. 15 minutes in, minimal changes to the tactic that was submitted from Nick 1408. He has a 3-4-2-1 that he wanted me to take a look at, but we've already done a 3-4-2-1, so I thought we'd try something different. 2 shots on target from Arsenal. So far, I don't see much. Papa Alouane and Daye has had is having decent. Nice look at the shots so far, both from outside the edge of the box. Nothing to concern ourselves with at the moment. Collado to Ndiaye again to Almeida to Germano. Germano slides into Lacazette. Ooh, good. He's got a goal through the middle. Okay. All right. So we're playing on standard and fluid. All right. This is his tactic. Very minimal changes. The only thing I think I've done is shape change and playing on a slightly higher mentality so that we're not so deep. Okay, so we're off to a decent start. Abel Collado has not picked up a yellow card yet. Have we increased closing down settings? Not really. Looking at the shots, all of them coming from Z Gomez, which is how I prefer things to be because he is the goal scorer in my team so far this season. he has been the man of the moment. Lacazette again as at the F9, releasing Z Gomez. Z Gomez inside the box almost makes it two. Oh, so we made the right. So in this particular case, we didn't listen to the ass man, but still, it's only 45 minutes in. Minor changes to the tactic. It My head is telling me not to play with so many attacking duties on the left flank. This is why, you see, when they break, this is what's going to happen. I'm not going to have players in perfect positions to come back, and so I depend a lot on people like Colado, and in that particular highlight, we were saved by the bell. So, okay, things are going well. We're capable of doing better. Colado is having a 6.6, a bit of a concern for me. In terms of the teams and the heat map, at the moment, Arsenal showing some signs of using the flanks. Gloucester City should be showing some signs of controlling the middle. Still very little to say from that. Average positions without the ball for Gloucester City. You can see we drop back. This is the thing that concerns me with the diamond at the moment. We've got three guys. What I'm going to do is slightly different. Okay. We're going to change one of the roles. I don't think it should have that big of an impact. If you're looking at just the stats alone, it's an even match, but there's something in my head that says change the shadow striker to a support role to shore down the match. Okay, Desiano, off he goes, skips past one player, skips past the second player. Webster puts it up for a corner. The reason why I'm hesitating is because of the F9 role. The F9 role already drops very deep. So the shadow striker, if I make him into a support role, then he's going to drop deep too. And that could lead Gomez could be isolated. So this is the only reason why I'm hesitating. Germano inside the box doesn't get clear. Come on, Polworth. That's it. Who's this? Who's this? Go. Who's number 3? Webster. Who's number 11? Colado. 23 more. I need to see who are the players who came back quickly. Okay, Johnston rising up, getting to that. Johnston with this is the reason why I chose to play with the goalkeeper, leaving it to him for making the decisions. It might be the right thing to do, because I don't want to put so much pressure on my back line to play out from defense all the time. Z Gomez away, through, shoots, makes it 2. Oh, Gloucester City 2, Arsenal 0. Minimal changes to the tactic. Again, not too many. In a lot of systems, right, I wouldn't recommend 4 like that to attack because it's really strong. You notice Hajek's already picked up a yellow card. So this time, it's getting to be a bit more of a concern for me. He's already picked up a yellow card. I'm going to turn him into a support role now, so he doesn't have to bomb forward. This way, he also helps out. He will help Hajek out. We're not going to ask him to roam. Instead, we're now going to tell him to mixed passing is fine. We're going to tell him to close down more. Boland has you. I don't want to lose the one and true Z Gomez. I'm already down Karim Imaja. I'm already down Pablo Mafio. If I'm down Z Gomez, man, it's gonna be a very difficult end to the season. Germano with the free kick into the box. It goes. Colado picking out the pieces, acting like the anchor man. Germano now what I've done is I've turned Olmedo into a screen for the players. Lacazette plays it back to Webster. Webster, no, he's not going to go to the right because that fullback is... And it's a third goal. Webster is holding down the right flank. What a goal from Lacazette. Makes it 3. The man says, I don't want to give Z Gomez all the attention. I can do it from absolutely nothing. Oh, that's a sweet goal. Look at that. And now we short up our midfield. Unite. Okay. Another change I want to make. They've gone to a 4-2-4. Hajek, you don't need to be a superstar anymore. Just sit back, chill. You go and defend. Now, all you boys from the back. Um, we'll leave this alone. Colado, I'm going to ask you to change the way you play. You're going to be a deep line playmaker on defense because now I want you to make passes from the back. So we've got all these players running into space, and instead of a ball into box, now we pass into space. Because Arsenal have switched to a 4-2-4, so they should leave some space around. Germano in. Ooh, Olmedo, come on. He makes it 4. I love this. This is sweet. This is the biggest win I've had over Arsenal historically. I've never beaten Arsenal. I mean, maybe I have beaten Arsenal by a thumping margin, but I can't remember. Was it FM15, FM16? But I don't think in FM17 I have beaten Arsenal by this big a margin. This is embarrassing for Arsenal. They'll probably never take part in the Champions League again. They've gone. Arsenal have given up hope. They've gone defensive. They tried to go for a 4-2-4. Now they've conceded 4 goals. They hop back to a 4-4-2. Not bad, not bad. This is a good tactic. It's not bad. I like this tactic. My players certainly could use the tactic, and they used it well. But I had to make some changes, small little changes to the system. I didn't make any like dramatic changes to your tactic. Just you like the tactic so far, and I'm trying to see if I can play it with minimal changes. Because I don't like to go into a tactic and make a lot of changes unless the tactic completely absolutely makes no sense. But this one we had to play it out and see how it did. And even though my head said, why are you you're taking so much risk on the left flank, my heart was saying give it a chance. And then as we watch the game a bit more, we understand why the F9 is such a good role in this system. Look, there he is again. He's dropped deep, so you don't really need an AM support anymore. So the other guy can be a shadow striker. The F9 actually drops deeper than the shadow striker, which is really good. So if you're looking at the teams, and this is how without the ball, but who really cares? I don't right now. We won. Heat map again. This is how heat map. It's not one of those like heat maps that I get, which is either really large or even non-existent. Most of my all my overloaded attacking tactics, they're very like splotchy. This isn't bad. Arsenal, surprisingly, I won't say surprisingly, we expected them to get the flanks, and we made sure that that Arsenal, who were attacking down the flanks, what did we do? We made sure that we didn't screw things up. So I know you asked me to make a copy of this with all the changes. So, well, I made a lot of changes, right? So I'm going to give you the end product, okay? So there's not many changes, but we will save this as Nick edit 1408. I'll save it, and I will link this tactic in the description. I'll open a Dropbox folder and I'll leave it in there, and you can pick it up anytime. This is the tactic where we finished. We played on standard fluid, but the thing to take note is that I actually changed. I went to a deep line playmaker on defense, which is not really necessary. We have a player there who probably could play that role, but I wanted it to be a situation where I wanted it to be used in a particular situation, right? So, and this guy was on attack duty, and I changed him because I wanted to shore up my flank after he got a yellow card. So that's one of the changes I made. You had a wingback on attack here. I changed it to a wingback on support because my player isn't that good. So there's no real point asking to bomb forward. It's like asking somebody to just run forward for the sake of running forward when he can't even cross the ball, much less pass the ball. So let's just ask him to concentrate on what he can do. Um, Here we did change one other thing. Here all this players are closing down instructions being changed. Other than that, I just make sure the right players are playing here, and we played with the shouts a bit, and that's another thing. So yeah, thanks for the tactic. I hope you found this tactic interesting. I certainly did, and thanks for this thumping win over uh, Arsenal. It's two wins, two big wins. One over Chelsea, one over Arsenal. We couldn't ask for anything better. Now I'm playing Man City and Arsenal again. I want to use your tactic, man. Well, guys, I'd like to thank you for submitting your tactics. Once again, um, if you want to send in your tactics, just link the tactics to me. Put it on SendSpace or Dropbox, and then put the link in the description below. And if you want a copy of the tactic back, the way maybe it changes, but I can't give you all the various changes, right? So I'll just give you the end product before I close off the match. That is a tactic that I ended it on, and you probably need to understand why I made the changes. And if you like it, then cool. So thank you very much for watching the show. If you have any questions, please look me up on Twitter at Busternet or addicted2fm.com, my website. And to all my patrons, your generosity and support of this channel has gone a long way to making these kind of shows possible. So thank you very much. You guys have a good one. Take care. Bye bye.